Well, Victor Yanam joins us. He's the former Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice in Akwa Ibom State to give his perspective on this judgment. Morning, and thank you for joining us today. Is this, or are you satisfied with this judgment? Because you went to court into tribunal in the first instance, and 18 of the 31 local government areas will have fresh elections conducted. Is that what you want?
In the first instance, let me let you know that the judgment was that the election was nullified. That election was nullified because it is not possible for the governor to remain in office to be in office with 13 local governments out of 31. As you know, he must have 1/4 of the votes in 20 or 21 local governments of Akwa Ibom State. That makes it the appropriate thing to do. So it's just semantics for anybody to suggest that the elections have not been nullified. If he likes, let him not appeal. But we are not completely satisfied with the results. And so we're also getting ready to appeal. We are appealing because, for instance, if 18 local governments have been cancelled, that is substantial non-compliance by all standards. 18 out of 31. That's about 65%. What else do you want from the petitioners?
So, if you say that the elections were nullified, why are you appealing?
The elections were nullified. The law says, notwithstanding the decision of the tribunal, they must exhaust their appeal, the 21 days allocated to them for appeal. So notwithstanding the decision of the appeal, so long as those steps still remain available to them to take, they remain in office. That's what the Electoral Act says, as simple as that. So that there won't be any lacuna in government.
Okay, so if you say...
For purposes, it is not possible for anybody to be declared a governor on the basis of less than... on the basis of what you have now, 13 out of 31 local governments in Akwa Ibom State.
So did the court pronounce that the speaker should be in charge while the elections will hold?
No, the speaker, the issue of the speaker coming on will only happen when they exhaust their appeals up to the Supreme Court. So they still have the Court of Appeal, and then if they're not satisfied with the Court of Appeal, they can still go further to the Supreme Court. It's only after the Supreme Court has made its pronouncement and they've taken advantage of the window of opportunity that the speaker will come in. Not at this stage when they are still exercising their right of appeal. We are also appealing because we don't want that head start. That head start is too much for 18 local governments. No, we believe that with having cancelled 18 local governments, there is no basis for him to remain. All the entire election should be cancelled.
So if he remains, it means that he has not, the entire election were not nullified.
No, even if the tribunal have pronounced nullified, they will still be in office. They will still be entitled to remain in office until they exhaust all the appeals.
Yes, I get that point, but I'm saying that, I'm asking you, you say even if that was pronounced, but at the moment, was it pronounced? Because many say it wasn't pronounced.
No, the tribunal does not have to make that as a special pronouncement. Definitely, the electoral process is such that if you have less than you know what, you need to have up to 20, you win up to 20 local governments out of 2/3. You need 2/3 to win the state, and so 13 does not make up to 2/3.
Yeah, I get all that point, but I'm asking because almost everyone is saying that the judgment is confusing. But if I understand what you're saying no, it's clear that he cannot remain in office and this, while elections are to be conducted in 18 local government areas, meaning it's not confusing to you.
Now, get it straight. Now, after every judgment of the tribunal, the party that is not satisfied has a right of appeal, and he can exercise that right within 21 days. Now, the judgment was delivered only 2 days ago, and so he still has 21 days. If he chooses not to appeal, and we also choose not to appeal, then within the 21-day window, then the Speaker will have to take over. But if he exercises his right to appeal within 21 days, then the Speaker cannot take over until the appeal is exhausted. And then if the decision in the Court of Appeal is still against him, then the Speaker will still have to wait until the further appeal to the Supreme Court is exhausted. So that is what, because the law does not allow that lacuna.
You know, if you look at this, so many people have been commenting on this particular matter. Some say it is confusing. Some also call it an error in judgment. But if you look...
I will agree with some of them, because the confusion lies in the decision of the tribunal in not going the whole hog to cancel the entire election. Because when you have 18 local governments have been cancelled, and this is not election to local government, it's election for the governorship of Akwa Ibom State, and it is one constituency for the state. So out of 31 local governments, 18 have been cancelled. What are you waiting for? 18, that is substantial non-compliance by the PDP to hope to hold on to.
Is that why the APC is appealing this particular judgment, which
yes,
in any case, a whole lot think that it is already in the APC's favor?
Yeah. Yes, it's a whole lot. So if you have what else do you expect of a petitioner in an election petition after achieving 18 local governments to be cancelled, and you say they should go and conduct election to 13, giving PDP a head start with 13 local governments?
How does this affect the APC's chances? Because one would have thought that if you felt that the election for the 18 local government, the results had been cancelled, and it would seem as if it's going to be a clear, battle in the rerun that has been ordered by the tribunal, then you have nothing to fear.
No, we have a lot to fear, because it would look like we'll be handed a Pyrrhic victory. We have 18 local governments cancelled, whereas having cancelled 18, you should go to the logical conclusion that we have achieved substantial non-compliance with the electoral laws, because this is not election to local government councils; it's election to the governorship position of Akwa Ibom State, and so the entire election should be cancelled, having achieved substantial non-compliance to the extent of 18 local governments.
Okay.
Now, if you say 13 was good, 18 bad, and then you want to go and conduct elections that require 2/3 of one quarter in at least 2/3 of the state, that means our APC candidate can never be governor. Under such an election, it will be a formality.
Okay, let's ask you then.
Election to achieve just a formality.
Okay, as it stands now, who's the governor of Akwa Ibom State?
No, definitely, there is no question about that. Udo Emmanuel is still the governor of Akwa Ibom State until all these appeals are sorted out. Nobody was ever in doubt about that.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering, though, it would seem that, we all know that in elections, there are strong areas, there are good areas, and you're saying that, it doesn't matter. Do you also believe that the remaining 13 were also bad?
Yes. We prayed for outright cancellation of the election, because the entire thing was marked by fraud, violence, all manner of
So you do not agree that in any area in Akwa Ibom State, elections were held in a free and fair atmosphere?
The only local government they allocated to us was Urefon Orugo local government. That was the only local government they allocated, because elections did not take place. What we had was allocation of votes. So they allocated Urefon Orugo local government to us. And we are saying, notwithstanding Urefon Orugo that was allocated to us, cancel the election.
Are you saying that if more was allocated to you, you most likely would not have contested it? Because it would seem that where this is coming from is in the issue of figures. You're doing the maths, and it doesn't look good to you that if they conduct elections in these 18 local governments, you could get the figures that you need to win.
No, we never entered elections for votes to be allocated to us. We entered elections to win the votes. And so what they did was allocation. And we don't stand for allocation of votes. And so now the tribunal is saying, okay, you've proved your case to the extent of 18 local governments. If a tribunal can come to that conclusion, is that not substantial non-compliance? Because we are not doing election to local governments on the issue of governorship. Local governments are just signposts to the calculation. And so if you say, using these units for your calculation, 18 local governments out of 31, in my opinion, even if you had 10, but 15 will just be right out of 31. But 18 local governments cancelled. What are you waiting for?
Is there a formula in law as to, what exactly will constitute substantial non-compliance?
Yes, substantial non-compliance.
There is?
Even from your own view, if you say somebody did well in 18, is that not 18 out of 31? Is that not substantial non-compliance? And then you believe 18, but you don't believe the balance?
Because if the Constitution says that you must win 2/3, and he did not lose in 2/3, I mean...
No.
The elections were not bad in 2/3. Perhaps the Constitution is also looking at 2/3 of it being bad.
No, look at it this way.